Well, hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder. I'm Corny Swiss, and today I'm driving around the T-50 in a realistic battle on White Rock Castle, or Fortress, or whatever it's called. That one. You know the map I'm talking about. And I wanted to start this video by saying I'm sorry for, I don't know, maybe if, I know I haven't been replying to many comments recently, and uh, I feel like I haven't been quite as sort of in touch with the channel recently, but that's primarily because I'm applying to a lot of internships right now, trying to get a summer internship, and lots of tests, lots of projects, that are, very pressing. I think I have 2 or 3 tests next week, at least 2, maybe 3. And so that's going to take a lot of my time, and there may be a couple days where I don't upload a video just simply because I haven't played. Like this replay I played maybe a few days ago, and I kind of had it sitting for a day when I knew I probably wouldn't play very much, so I could use it to kind of bridge the gap in between my play sessions. But, just wanted to apologize for that. But hopefully once my schoolwork will come back down after next week, and then obviously once I get an internship, that obviously won't be as a pressing issue anymore. But until then, I gotta do all the various hoops, jumping, and all that. So so if it seems like I'm not listening to the comment section, I am. I just haven't really had the time, and I know Phil's been busy too, so don't worry. Normal service will resume at some point, just not right now. But I'm still here, gonna be making videos as much as I can, and enjoying the ride. So in this game I'm driving the T-50, and I hadn't driven the T-50 in a while, and I gave it a go, and it's very similar to what I remember. It's still a very strong little tank. I've taken to the field over here in the sort of southwestern portion of the map, primarily to use the T-50 speed to kind of use terrain features and stuff to sneak up on the enemy. And I'm the only one on my team to sort of come over here, and my goal is to try and flank and get a whole bunch of just tons of harassing fire into dudes. But oh, there's an F2. He's pretty dangerous. First shell gets his commander. Second shell, doesn't do a whole lot. Oh, get one. There we go. Cannon breach. Got his loader. He's kind of done. I think he knows it as well. Right up alongside him. Put one right through the side of his tank. Oh, this might be a little bit of an issue. He's turning the turret. Go for a dodge. And knock him out. No problem. Now there's an F1 who's way down over there running across the field. Gonna start laying fire into him. There's also a Stug now who's shown up, but he's not much of a problem. This F1, he's sitting way out there, but sometimes the issue you run into with the T-50. It's a very strong tank. It has good APCR rounds, but it's a small caliber APCR round that struggles to do tons and tons of damage. A death via T-50 is oftentimes a death of 1,000 cuts, and at this range it's difficult for me to hit the F1 here really effectively. Now I can certainly kill him from this range, but it'd be behoove of me to move closer and try and get better shots at his weak points. There's a Panzer IIC who's directly in front of me. I'm not terribly worried about. He will be coming up on me, so I'll need to deal with him. But this F1 can actually kill me if he under the right circumstances. So I'm just trying to pepper in front of his tank until he dies. But lots of target undamage. It's APCR round, and it's not a large caliber APCR round, so it doesn't. It's not a tremendous long range thing. But this Panzer IIC's finally got close enough. set him on fire. I really don't fear his gun from the front. He could damage my gun, though. And maybe from the sides he can be an issue, but at this, you know, no problem. See you later. F1 over here. Gonna need to deal with him as well. Ooh, we're starting to hit him. There's some more hits. But I'm not... F1s were probably the tank I was most worried about because they fire a large shell. Doesn't have great penetration. But I think they do get a heat round. And the heat round might be an issue for me. But the thing about the T-50 is that it fires so quickly that a lot of times if you disable them, they're dead. So I was basically able to avoid taking hits by going for key components and sort of surgically removing his crew from their tank. Panzer IIc at range, that guy had 0 chance. And I'm fairly close to the enemy spawn now. I don't really want to spend a huge amount of time in their spawn because that's how they'll deal with me, is they'll swarm me, they'll damage me, and then just slowly knock me out. From the side, my armor isn't quite as effective at dealing with them, and my turret traverse is so slow that if they damage it, it's likely to become a severe liability. Because that's the one complaint I do have about the T-50 is the turret traverse is really slow, and if it gets damaged at all, it really becomes an issue trying to get this gun on target. Right? It's basically like this: if your horizontal drive is damaged and slowed, it's the equivalent of just not having one, basically. Which is a little bit of an issue for this tank, but at the same time, this tank is just overall a very strong machine. There's a 3J over there, and he's a little bit of an issue. 3J has a decent anti-tank gun, but I can also still penetrate him, so I'm backing up to kind of get in a little bit of cover, and I'm just going to keep hammering him as he drives out through the open. Now he's severely damaged. A lot of his crew is either wounded or dead, so now is not a bad time for me to push forward and try and take advantage of that. Get some better shots, and boom, right there. Oop, enemy. Now, I don't think he necessarily knew I was here, but now he certainly does. Panzer IIc, not really a big issue. Panzer IIc, though, I don't think it's a particularly horrible tank. It's just, it's only good at dealing with other reserve tanks. It's actually a fairly durable little machine and can be an issue for some reserve tanks. It's just, I mean, as with most reserve tanks, the Stuart being less so, because I think the Stuart has a better gun than the Panzer IIc, and also just is really fast. Most of the time, I mean, obviously reserve tanks aren't very good against other tanks, but Panzer IIc really struggles. At least the T-26 has the advantage of having a pretty decent gun, even if it has 0 armor and not a whole ton of speed. Whereas the Stuart has, you know, a pretty decent gun and has decent speed, or well, not decent, really good speed, but similar loss of armor. And there are definitely enemies all around us, which can be a little bit of an issue. And this Stug is kind of trying to be an issue. I'm trying to circle him, and as long as I keep the engine power up, I can do that. I really needed that shot to probably knock him out, but gonna keep hammering him. There goes his gunner. Gonna stop, and for some reason he was able to fire. I don't know why that was. I thought his gunner was dead, but my horizontal drive is damaged. It's still working, but it is damaged. And like this, there's no real way this Stug is going to penetrate me. I'm just too heavily angled, so I take the time and put one right through his driver's hatch there. But the turret traverse on this thing now is ridiculously slow. Too slow to really move effectively. I can keep up with maybe a tank at range moving, but for example, this guy, if I think if I'd been able to swing the turret around faster, I probably could have killed this guy in time for the before the game ended. But he's going to get away. I will kill him before we leave the game, but not after the game had already been won, and it doesn't count. So, unfortunate. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that replay. On the subject of map reviews, I read a comment today, and I actually agree. They are changing some of the maps. I'm going to look to see if they're changing the map I had selected. If they aren't, then I'll move forward with it. If they are, then I'll wait. But yeah, I don't want to give like bad information or anything like that. So that was a good catch. And I did see, and I have been reading the stuff about the mouse. I've been trying to look up information about armor layout and things like that to get an idea of how it'll play. But I just don't know yet. So yeah, thanks for watching. I've been Corny Swiss, and I'll see you next time.